Hello and welcome to Bargain and Subscription Gaming. My name is Rich. We're going to play a little more Forza Motorsport. We're going to try the C-Class series here. I believe we looked at the cars available to me last time. Let's see, what do I got that... We're going to use this 1987 Nissan Skyline GTS-R HR31. God, that's a mouthful. Let's race our P yellow 1987 car. It looks 1987. I mean, if you grew up in the era, you'd be like, oh yeah, this car looks like it is from the age. So do some quick upgrades if we can. Looks like we get some. Takes us to $499. Alrighty. And it's going to be the Sebring International Raceway at short circuit of 2.0 miles. 9:40 morning, partly cloudy. 1 lap of practice and a 6-lap race. All right, let's do this.
Experiment with braking deeper and deeper into the corners to create opportunities to overtake and lower your lap times. Get after it.
Getting after it. Oh, it's so boxy. The big turns, as I went, they're like, you could break deep into it because you can really slide. Well, listen to that thing slide too. Look at those bars bracing the inside. I was like, this car was not designed for racing, so we had to reinforce the insides. Look at the way it wobbles. Oh, this thing is just not meant to be out here. Even doing this, like, this is just doing like 70, 80 miles an hour, and it's like, no, please don't make me do that. Wobble, wobble, wobble. In minute 35, so I'm saying a minute, oh, I don't know, maybe 27. I don't even think we're going to get the 10-second grace that I usually get at least, because this thing is so boxy, so unresponsive. And they sold it as a sporty sort of name thing, huh? I suppose it looks 1980s sporty, but from like our era, it just looks like just so boxy. Look at the sun coming up over there, yeah. Okay, I did get my 10 seconds, just barely. Just barely. And I do like in these, at least in these Builders Cup and these Open Tour ones, I'm not having to do 3 laps of practice every time. I mean, the 3 laps do get you the car's level up higher, but a Skyline, that's like one of their big name things too, isn't it? I don't know. But I think it is. I think it's one of their more popular car nerds. You could tell me in the comments. Look at it. It just so screams 1987. It reminds me of the Cavalier we had. It doesn't have the red, higher up braking light. I thought that was 87 when this year was mandated, but in 87 would have come out in 86, so you probably don't see that until in 88. I'm thinking. I'm not certain. I thought we had an 87 Chevy Cavalier. I could be wrong. I never drove it. That was my dad's car for the longest time, and then it ended up being my little brother's station wagon. And he drove that thing into the ground. Well, Dad first, but then him. Like, well, between the two of them, the back seat was, the front seat, the driver's seat. Dad had this thing because he was, before he was a office machine repairman, and his own vehicle was like his work vehicle. He'd drive to the job sites, driving in his own vehicle, and then there was a lot of getting into toll roads or stopping at like drive-throughs and stuff. And he always kept his wallet in his back pocket, so there was this constant lean to reach and grab his wallet out of his back pocket. And that car and the Nissan Datsun we had before, both of them, just him putting his weight like that on the cars, kind of destroyed those seats. Not like that he was a big heavy guy. I mean, he was a big guy, but it's just like, 6 foot tall man, just leaning and pushing against the floor with his feet to get some leverage to get his wallet out of his back pocket, and just pushing with that right shoulder, and over, repeated stress on those seats. We used to call it the knee seat in the Cavalier, because if we had extra people in the car, the seat was going to either have my brother kept a milk crate behind it, or somebody had to sit behind and keep their knees holding the seat up forward. Okay, that was dumb. That was real dumb. I'm trying to slide around them, but an obvious, much nicer car, at least looking to me, and I'm hearing this boxy but good. I think there's a line from the movie Crazy People. Dudley Moore's institutionalized, and while he's there, I guess he's a marketing guy, and he just starts putting all the crazy people in the institution. I know it's not the way we talk about people who are institutionalized these days. And then most people don't actually get institutionalized these days. They get I think they call it a grippy sock vacation is what the kids call it, when they take some time to get mental health, but it's only for like a brief period. That I think you get like 28 days or so sometimes on most plans, or anyway, whatever. But the movie's premise was that he's in this place, and I'm not sure if it's voluntarily, and he puts all of the people to work making ads, and they're all just making just unhinged ads, but they're very successful because they appeal kind of to a segment of the population that appreciates the sort of crazy honesty. One of them's for a sports car. It's it's because where the ad is because I want a hand job from attractive ladies or something. It was the sports car. And the other one was I think it was Volvo. It's boxy but good. And it was ridiculous and funny, and not the kind of movie I think you can or should be able to make anymore, because it does, like I said, it doesn't treat mental health problems in any way that we think about properly anymore. It's not really the right way to talk about it. It's we have better understanding of how we should treat mental health issues, I think, these days, instead of trying to skewer them for cheap laughs. And although the movie itself, I think, was also trying to make a point that these institutionalized people were still actually very valuable to society. And they had valid viewpoints. I think it's not something, I think you could probably do a better job of making similar points nowadays without just basically having people, just taking stabs at people, or punching down, I believe is the way we say it, just making fun of people who are already in a rough situation. Where are we at lap-wise? 4 of 6. This will be done. Now 5 of 6. Yeah. Yeah, I had to look it up the first time I seen one of these content creators talking about she was going on a grippy sock vacation. Like, what? Because I know what a grippy sock was because my mother spent a lot of time in the last few years having not mental health trips to hospitals, but, trips to hospitals. And it's one of the things they put on you a lot of the time. It's like, well, you're not stable on your feet, and we don't want you walking around in your regular shoes and socks. We're just going to give you these socks with the little rubbery bits on the bottom so that you can walk on the floor without sliding on your butt. And there's a certain sort of commentary on our society as a whole when they're calling it a vacation because it's the only time off they can get from the grind of everyday life is to be institutionalized for their mental health because they're just having such a hard time coping with the world as it is, which I understand. I've never been one that could cope very well in society the way it was. Gen X, we are the ones who came up with, slackers and, there was the hippies dropped out, but we just, not even dropped out. It's just like, there were a lot of us just like couldn't be bothered, I think is, we saw what was and you had to growing up with that entire idea that like, well, nuclear Armageddon's coming any day now anyway. Kind of passed on from our parents, They had it through their youth. We had it like from birth, where it's like, oh yeah, any day. And then that all went away, but like the entire rat race of society was still like, all consuming. And there's a lot of us, this just isn't worth it, There are a lot of people who did just, did go and make their bag of money, but there are a lot of people who just said, this is all a scam and I want nothing to do with it. Alright, we're going to come up on our last turn here. Very nice. How much money are we going to make for this? I may have to give a try after this to the rivals to see if I can make better money off of those. That at least is like if you're just racing against one ghost of a person, not a real person. So it's you're playing against somebody else's best lap, and it's like, so I might be able to do that. And if the money's better, play some of those to try to make up, like, because we need. I got I'm at 97 now. It's like I got 9,000 credits for that. Not great. The next one in this series is going to be the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, the short circuit of 1.84 miles. It's going to be 5:40 evening with looming clouds, 1 lap of practice, and a 6-lap race. All right. Thank you all for watching. You guys want to see more Forza Motorsport? Let me know in the comments. If there's other games on Game Pass or PS Plus, games are free to play. Games are highly interested. You can write that down in the comments as well. I'll try to get them as soon as possible. And I'll see you guys all next time.